This is All-Time Favorites AM 650 and Tony and Casey's Best of Food and Wine. Here's Tony and Casey.
Welcome back to the Best of Food and Wine. I'm Tony Gismondi.
I'm Casey Wilson.
Our guest is Bill Spence. He's the Matua winery ambassador and entrepreneur. That's kind of nice.
Hey, thank you very much.
Entrepreneur. Boy, Bill, you're really...
That's a great word.
I've got to a whole new level.
Wow.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah, I mean, who'd have thought?
I've never heard that before.
Who'd have thunk? We're going to start with one of your wines, Bill. It would be fun to just talk about. So the Matua, we got the 2012 Sauvignon Blanc.
Sure.
2012. What about vintages? Are they important in New Zealand?
They are. If you haven't got a large expanse of vineyards around the area, that
Right.
is important. With us, we have the wine we're going to try is the Matua Regional Sauvignon Blanc. It's made up of 3 different areas, and over a period of, over a scattering of about 12, 13 vineyards. So it's good to have that range, because the blend is from the Wairau, which is the main component of that, which is 50%, and then we've got 40% from the Waihopai Valley, which joins onto the Wairau, and then 10% from the Arbitrary, which gives you more of those. So
it's like 3 flavor valleys.
Exactly right. So if we have a bad time in one particular area with rain or whatever, we can move that and move that blend around a bit. So what we're trying to do is just keep consistency for the people that are buying the product for the style it is.
Could you use the word compensate?
No. Compensate? No.
Okay, that's more of a negative.
That's like being on the air with you, Casey.
It's compensate. Oh no, that's a bit hard. That's a bit hard.
No, I didn't mean it like that. Well, let's go back to maybe the 3 flavors or the 3 regions. What do they contribute in terms of flavors? If we were looking into these wines, could you break that down?
Sure.
Or?
The Wairau gives you more melon characters with the wine. It gives you more of those nice warm flavours of melon. And then you get into the Waihopai, where you get more mineral characters coming through. Mineral and a little bit of limey characters coming through in the Waihopai. And then you go into the Arbitrary. And the Arbitrary gives you very much grapefruit characters together with that minerality. You really can distinctly see wines that are made particularly from those particular areas. And we're going to try another one soon from one particular area. That it just comes out and it blows. It shows you that particular flavour that we get out of those particular areas.
Freshness.
Exactly.
I get that right off the bat.
If you were starting over again, knowing what you know now about Sauvignon Blanc, would you have done anything differently?
I think I would have gone to Marlborough a lot sooner.
Yes.
But there is some fantastic styles. There's a Hawke's Bay style which we produce and sell in the Canadian market. And that's more melon character, and that's riper fruit, because it comes from a hotter area, whereas these, in Hawke's Bay you don't get the variance of temperatures as we get in the Marlborough region. We can get up to Celsius around 30 degrees in one day, and it can go down to 10 that night, and that's so these variances really have a lot to do with the flavour profiles
in Marlborough.
In Marlborough, yeah.
In Hawke's Bay, what, like in the summertime, would it be more constant, or?
Yeah, you get to 30 and it would come down to maybe 25 at night.
Yeah, because I know I've spent some summers in Marlborough. You need a sweater at night.
You do.
In the middle of the summer, it's cold.
Trying to have a barbecue down there, everybody's really rugged up at the end of the night.
But it's nice.
Really rugged up.
I know,
love
the
that.
expressions are great.
Yeah.
It's nice though when it cools down in the evening, when it's hot during the day. And
it is, and I think that because the soil's so stony and bony, that the stones retain that heat.
Yes.
Yeah, you lose a lot of that acid finish coming through, which is at night too, because of those cold. It's like cold stabilization on the vine.
What do you think about? You've been making wine for so long and been around. What kind of wine do people want today? You make a Sauvignon Blanc, so when you sit back and you think, well, does it have to be dry? Does it have to be sweet? Like, what is it that people want in a wine? For instance, this wine, the 2012, sells for $17 here in British Columbia. It'd be probably similar, wouldn't it, in New Zealand, or maybe more?
Yeah, a little bit less. Just
a little bit less.
Yeah. But I think what people want, and that's consistency. I think that when people pick up a bottle of wine and try.
You mean from year to year, or bottle to bottle, or?
Well, from bottle to bottle and to year,
yeah.
the whole line.
Yeah.
And I think that is because of the fact that people are starting to like Sauvignon Blanc. And I think what we've tried to do is we've tried to get a wine here that shows a far broader reach in people. We're trying to get them to I call it a porch wine. You can sit out in the porch and have a bottle and really enjoy it. You don't want we don't want a wine that's so very complex and full and hard that you have a glass of it and say that's really nice, but I don't want any more.
No, you never want that.
No, exactly.
But
Casey,
there's a lot of wines like that.
There is.
They're so high alcohol and so
have
rich.
You tried that one, Casey? Because I'm taking it off you shortly,
I know,
so you
I can
better
see
give it a shot. Delicious. What we'll talk about food with the second wine too, but when we look at the culture, say in France or Italy, it seems as if the wines and the foods have evolved. Do you feel like in the case of Sauvignon Blanc, there's an evolution with food right in New Zealand, like that people are reach for? Or?
I think the biggest thing with the Sauvignon Blanc, and that it goes so well with seafood, no matter what. And New Zealand, especially in New Zealand, because we're surrounded by sea.
Yeah.
But I think that Sauvignon Blanc is great with salmon. The heart, and also because Sauvignon Blanc has a reasonably high acid to it, and it just that flavour profile that hits it, you can have it with creamy sauces and that sort of thing. Casey, you'd know what I mean coming from there.
Yes, beautiful.
And it's also good with tomatoes. I mean, it's fantastic.
What about those green lip mussels? Are they a Sauvignon candidate?
They are definitely Sauvignon because they've grown in Marlborough as well, which is fantastic. And that green lip mussels are great with it. Yeah,
it's a great wine for vegetarians. It goes very well with vegetables.
It does very much so.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay, so the 2012 Matua available in Vancouver, $17 a bottle. I mean, it's almost a giveaway price, and very versatile wine. We've got tons of mussels here, clams, all kinds of seafood. So it's a nice mix for us too.
With chowder.
Yes.
Yeah. With chowder.
Have you ever thought about writing a book about Sauvignon Blanc?
Bill, come on.
Look, it's hard enough for me to write to start with.
Bill.
I could just see Bill pounding out a book.
No, but he's got to work. Well, maybe you and Bill could do a book together.
Should I go out and be a entrepreneur, or should I write a book?
Be a entrepreneur.
The entrepreneur comes again. Yeah.
The entrepreneur. Yeah. Okay, we have a second Sauvignon. Maybe we can pour that out. Tell us a bit about this wine.
This is a single estate. It's called Paratai.
Yeah.
It's a single estate Sauvignon Blanc, and what we do is...
I remember the origin of this wine.
Yeah. And Paratai in Maori means the bank of the river. And actually, Matua means the head of the family. So it's quite apt with we had our 40th anniversary of Sauvignon Blanc. So Matua being the head, being the leader of Sauvignon Blanc, really works quite well. But getting back to the...
very unique nose. Very different than the first wine.
This is from the Waihopa. This is purely from one vineyard in the Waihopa, which it's a large vineyard that we have, and it rolls up on the hill. And what we've done is we've dropped about a quarter of the crop of this to the ground, and we've tried to concentrate the flavours coming through. And I think we've succeeded in it. But what we're trying to do is we get more of as we talked about before, more of a complex style wine that has a bit more structure to it and a bit more depth and flavour.
So this wine is available here in British Columbia. It's $30 a bottle, so it's a much more serious candidate, but still with a screw cap. So we like that.
Yep,
good commitment there.
And this wine's giving you more mineral characters in the back palate. It's giving you more of those, as I said before, more of those limey gooseberry characters coming through, and a little bit of passion fruit on the back palate as well.
I just came out of a tasting where I asked Michel Chapuche how to explain minerality or the mineral, and he said, well, if you were in the Rhone about 4 or 5 in the afternoon ready to have a little appetizer on the patio and it starts to rain,
or the porch,
it starts to rain, and when the rain hits those hot rocks that have been in the sun all day, the smell that comes off them is his notion of minerality.
Really?
Does that so when you say minerality, what do you think of
I think then minerality comes in I think in the front of the tongue, and you can feel those. It's sort of like little lumpy bits that come on the tongue, and I think that then that's more of your acid as well. It hits it.
Yeah.
But I think minerality gives you that rolling part of the mouth.
I get like sea salt too, and low tide, and some of these things that I when I smell them, I think, oh yeah, this has got to be minerality, or there's a freshness that's delicious.
I think the winemakers we have a tendency to say minerality because it fills the sides of our tongue into the front.
Yeah,
and I think that's what we've really had a look at. And
that's excellent. Out the side, but towards the front then.
Well, out to the side of your tongue. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Your new labels are beautiful.
Yeah, we should talk about that. People can't see the color, but we'll put it up on the web.
It's gorgeous blue. Tell us about it.
The blue is when we redesigned all our labels. We said that we asked everybody, well, what's the biggest thing about New Zealand? We said, well, we're surrounded by water, and there's the whole place is surrounded by water, and we have a lot of silica in our soils on the South Island, and the silica that runs into the lakes and into the sea reflects the blue. And so if you see any travel photos of New Zealand and the lakes, you'll see this colour reflecting through with the sun reflecting through on it. Yeah, so it's a great, and so that's hence why we put the blue on it. And we brought in some of our cultural. We've got a timoko on the front label, which is a Maori face tattoo, which is purely done for our company. We went to the local iwi and told them the story, and they did a timoko for us.
You've had a long history, a strong history with the Maori. Have you had a good sense of them as well, or you've embraced them? I mean, with the name and everything else, but
no, we have. We've done it. In all of our workings that we've done with Matua, and the way that every time we build a new building, we have the Maori elders come and bless the building,
right,
and all of that sort of thing. And we respect their beliefs, and it's great to have a bit of cultural side of it that fits through the whole system of the. Like, for instance, when I retired from the winery, I was given a Maori spear with the greenstone on the tip of it, and that's very humbling to be given something like that, and it's given to you as a mark of respect. So it's we do listen to our Maori people, and we try and work into with their cultural beliefs.
And there's nothing like a Maori welcome when you go to New Zealand. It's incredible. It's so powerful.
So frightening.
Yes.
And frightening. That's right. That's right.
Pretty decent rugby players too.
They are. They're very good rugby players. And together with the island nations that live in New Zealand, we have a pretty strong rugby fraternity in New Zealand. Very strong.
They sure do. I don't know if they drink Sauvignon Blanc, but they should.
They should. Well, some of them are starting to drink Sauvignon Blanc, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting off that beer and into that Sauvignon Blanc.
The Matua Valley Estate Series Paratai Marlborough Sauvignon Blanc 2010. We've just tasted that. It's about $29.99 in Vancouver. And a much more in-depth look at the variety, a snapshot, I guess, a single vineyard snapshot.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's the style that we particularly want. You might have other vineyards that you can make a pure wine out of, and it'll give you different characteristics.
Our guest has been Bill Spence. He's not going away. He's coming back, the co-founder and wine ambassador for Matua Wines, because we're going to come back and talk about the next chapter of New Zealand wine. It's red, and it's Pinot Noir. You're listening to the Best of Food and Wine. We're live today from the Vancouver International Wine Festival on the floor, and we'll be right back.